Hello, my name is Grace and welcome. Today's video is going to be a walkthrough, and it's not going to be an in-depth review, but it's going to be like my experience so far with Story Medicine Tarot Animal Woman 2nd Edition by Jessica Zinchuk. The main reason I'm doing this video, one is that my friend Nancy, I said I would do a flip through so she could see what the deck looks like and hear what my thoughts are. This is a deck that I held off for a long time getting. My friend Natalia kept suggesting that I get it, and I'll explain. The main reason why I held off on it was not cost, which I have to tell you that if you live in Canada, and I'm guessing Europe, it's an investment. It's an investment if you live in America. It's $89.99 on GameCrafter. But if you live in Canada, it's the exchange on the dollar, the shipping. You know what I mean? I have to be sure, especially after the deck overwhelm and the house cleaning that happened just recently. I've gone back to being the way I was prior to the deck binge, where I take my time and make sure I really, really want a deck before bringing it in. Also, for me, it's really hard to like Oracle decks. I'm willing to take a chance on an Oracle deck at a whim. Tarot decks, not so much. I have to really be sure. It's a different animal for me, a tarot deck. So the reason I held off on it is, I'll read the back and then I'll explain. Storyteller Jessica Zinchuk, which you should look her up on YouTube. I love her voice. I love the poetic way she speaks. Anyway, let me talk about the deck, okay? So storyteller Jessica Zinchuk takes us on the wild journey into woman for a second time. This time, the 4 pillar stories are woven together by the whale's secret red song. This deck exhibits Jessica's process of self-initiation and coming of age at 34 years old. It is a story of coming back to the ancestral wisdom she now calls sacred pause, which is to adequately rest during menstruation for more robust health, creativity, and life force. This journey into woman will undoubtedly reignite you to your own blood, ancestral fire, personal song, and soul's journey. This is a very earthy deck. This is a very earth-centric spirituality deck. The reason I held off on it, the main reason, is that I am a crone. I don't have to tell you again how old I am, because there's so many videos on my channel that tell you how old I am. But like, I'm in my crone years. I'm a young crone. I don't even know if that exists, but like, I'm in my early cronehood. So the sacred pause thing just didn't resonate for me, because I'm already in sacred pause. All right, so that's what made me hold back from getting this deck. I thought it would be very red tent focused. I thought it would be very moon cycles focused in terms of like women's biology, and so that stopped me from getting it for the longest time. And my friend Nat said, no, you don't need to worry about that. I think what she said was, it's only mentioned on the back of the box. Like, the deck doesn't mention any of that stuff at all. And the theme is woven in, but it's woven in as just, let me show you. Like I said, I'm in my early cronehood, and this deck totally resonates. If I were to say, I love Ellen Lorenzi Prince's Tarot of the Crone. Tarot of the Crone for me is is a devotional tool. It is, for me, it is the voice of the Dark Mother. It is the deck that I receive messages from the Dark Mother. It is, and I call her the Dark Mother. Some call her the Black Madonna. Some call her Hela. Some call her the Morrigan. To me, she's the Dark Mother. And because she does not just have one facet in my experience with her. Anyway. So Tarot of the Crone is, for me, is a devotional deck. It's a devotional tool. And that language really speaks to me. The language of earth, the scent of earth, the metallic scent of blood, is something that is very, I resonate with a lot. The smell of soil, loamy soil, petrichor, and the smell of fire burning, like, wood burning and all that stuff. And the crone, the smell of stone, cold, the smell when you go up to like when you sniff a stone, that has that like combination of that scent of earth and petrichor all in stone, right? It's like, anyway. So this is to give you an idea where I live. So I have like certain facets of myself that I like to explore with divination tools or decks or whatever you want to call them. Anyway, this I was drawn to. I was drawn to this deck. I just kept holding off because of the whole, being a crone thing, right? I didn't think it was appropriate. I didn't think it was going to be appropriate for my stage in life, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Turns out I was wrong, and that was right. So let's start. I placed it in order, and I have to say, the biggest thing about this deck what drew me in when I received my copy, first of all, when you receive these decks from Game Crafter, they're not in order, right? So I had the whole ritual of placing it in order. They also smell terrible. I don't know how long it's going to take for this cardstock to off-gas, but I just leave it out. I don't leave it in the box. Sometimes I have it stored in a wooden box with some sandalwood incense. It still smells like it did when I got it, but not as strong. Let's do the flip through. I'm going to start with the major arcana, and then I'm going to do my typical order that I like it in, which is wands, swords, cups, and pentacles. All right. This deck, let's look at the backs. Isn't that beautiful? It's dynamic. It looks like fire. Oh, yeah, it's basically a depiction of fire. And I love the way it looks. I tend to enjoy colorful decks with bold, clear colors. I know I'm very, very particular. And this deck has bold, clear colors. They're not garish. It's not bright. It's not garish. It's just beautiful. All right, so here we have it. So this first card is the Fool. What I love about this deck is that Jessica kept all the traditional titles of the cards, including the suits. All the traditional titles of the major arcana. She maintained the traditional suits. The only thing she changed were the court cards. And you'll see that for me, it totally works. She changed the court cards very much the same way Ellen Lorenzi Prince changed the court cards. Not the same, but the same idea. Very feminine-centric. And when I say feminine, it's a a little beyond gender. It's the feminine energy, receptive energy going within. This deck, you will see all the images. Well, start with the Fool, Portal. There's no guidebook. Every card has words literally on it, keywords, and the keywords are brilliant. In very few words, like, they're not very wordy. Sometimes there's a phrase or whatever, but they're brilliant. They really do capture the traditional essence of that tarot card. So if you're like me and you're a bit of a stickler about tradition, and you get my drift. This, like the symbolism has to be there. So here's Portal. So I'm gonna start flipping through a little, more. Maybe a little more expedient. But I want to. This Fool card captures the essence of this deck. It's a very shapeshifter deck. It's a very, for the lack of a more neutral word, it's very shamanic. I know it's like nowadays, anyway, language, and for the lack of a more neutral word, and to use a word that all of you who are watching would most likely understand, it's a very shamanic deck. The imagery is extremely shamanic. It's about going within, traveling to other worlds, shape-shifting. And here it is. The Magician, magic. High Priestess, listening. Empress, song. This right away made me think of you, Gita. Emperor, sovereignty. Hierophant, devotion. The cards, I guess for scale, I think they're 3 by 5 inches. Yeah, these are 3 by 5 inches. They're just a titch smaller than my Thoth deck. Chariot, power. The Jessica is in, I think she's in every card. Yeah, she is in every card. Hermit, protection. Wheel of Fortune, weaving. Justice. Hanged Woman. Okay, this one was changed. Returning. 13, death, release. Oh my goodness. 14, temperance. Devil, clarity. 16, tower, recreate. I love the choice of animal heads on human bodies, like the shape-shifting aspect, the animal spirit aspect. I've come to a place where I understand what I like, and I understand what I need in the decks that I work with personally. This this tarot for me is tarot. It's also oracle. It can, you can use it as an oracle deck. It's very it's got the animal spirit energy. It has the shamanic theme. It's got that divine feminine earth mother theme. It's elemental. For me, it checks off a lot of boxes. It's what many decks that have passed through my hands, many of what I wish those had been, are all, quite a few of those characteristics are in this one deck. Just took me a long time to get there. I release Seven of Wands. I release control. I practice humility. Eight of Wands. Follow it. Oh my goodness, just the colors. Nine of Wands. I am not alone. My ancestors carry me. Ten of Wands. Honor, rest. So, Daughter of Wands is the page. Young Mother of Wands is the Knight equivalent. Here's the interesting thing I wanted to point out. So, like, for me, tarot is very elemental. It's strongly elemental. So much so that I really cannot work with a deck that switches the elements around. I'm used to that wands are fire, swords are air, cups are water, and pentacles are earth. And anything other than that just trips me up. I can't even do like a minor switch between swords and wands. Absolutely not. There's imagery in this deck. Like for wands, this is definitely seaweed from what I gather, right? And yet it's still, the wands are very fiery for me. Goddess Mother of Wands is the Queen. I am free to be anything I want to be. Queen of Wands. Grandmother of Wands is the King equivalent, moving my soul. Now, I'm going to just grab, what's beautiful is, I'm going to just grab a suit. So this is, let's say, this is, I have my hand in front of it, sorry. This is swords, right? Beautiful. Anyway, just beautiful. All right. Ace of Swords, my words pour out. It doesn't, what I'm trying to say, there are decks that are clumsy, that are really just cobbled together, where if, an example I'm going to give is a very beloved deck. It's the flavor of the moment. But for me, it just doesn't work because the imagery is so, everything is so earth element. I can't, Oak, Ash, and Thorn. The fact that the cup suit is squirrels and acorns, for me, that is so autumn. And so pentacles, that for me, that deck has two pentacle suits, a sword suit, and even the wand suit is very earth. And I struggle with that. I struggle with that. I struggle to read with that. And for me, that's why, although I'm like a big mark for animal decks, that one does not. That one does not work for me at all. My beautiful friend Sabrina has had sent me Oak, Ash, and Thorn, and I'm having a hard time reading with it. It's beautiful art. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful art. The detail is incredible, but I can't read it as a tarot. And it's just every card except for the suit of swords, which is extremely swordsy and totally hits the mark for that element and that suit for me. The rest of them, the other three suits for me are all earth. So, yeah. Whereas in this deck, it doesn't, Jessica manages to include elements like her suits are still elemental to me, even if there's a whale, let's say, in the wand suit, for example. Two of Swords, one of my favorite cards. Things are not as they appear. Look again and see. Three of Swords, not afraid to express my grief. Four of Swords, I do not hurry my healing process. This deck also has a very, it's not the same, but it does, for me, it is also very Greenwood Tarot, especially like these kind of images right here. This to me is very Greenwood Tarot. Also one of my favorites, like at the top 5. Six of Swords. I am being lifted up into a big, great, and mysterious healing. Seven of Swords. Sometimes the wise road is not the easy road. Keep going. Which is very refreshing from that dude's, sneaking off with a couple of swords. Anyway. Eight of Swords. Wake up, woman. Eight of Swords is one of my cards. I move through my fear with the grace of the jellyfish. Nine of Swords. I give myself permission to let go. I follow my imagination. Daughter of Swords. So that's the Page of Swords equivalent. One step has the power to transform my whole life. Young Mother of Swords. Knight of Swords. Goddess Mother of Swords. My words aim high like arrows from the heart. Look at this. She's shape-shifting. Look at that wing. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Her arm. Grandmother of Swords. My voice is a sacred sound, and I am an instrument. Look at that. Look at that shape-shifting. Beautiful. Cups. Ace of Cups. I dive heart first into a new world. I sense my becoming. This is, Two of Cups, the relationship card and all this. This is also very Pisces with the, the implication of the two fish. Three of Cups. Love moves me. Four of Cups. I reveal myself. Five of Cups. I grieve in motion, moving forward. Oh my God, isn't this true though? Because life goes on. We have to continue participating in the world. with our grief. It moves with us. We carry it with us. It just becomes another part of us. 6 of Cups. My heart is a wonder, a bridge, a hum and pull I follow. Seven of Cups. It is all within me. When I received my deck, Nat told me that to pick a card as my guardian. That apparently that is something that Jessica talks about, and I did, and I picked my favorite card in any tarot deck, just my favorite tarot card, the 8 of Cups, and this one was very moving for me. I follow my healing. One struck a chord. 9 of Cups. Source lives in me and I am a treasure. Ten of Cups. I am home. Young Mother of Cups. Sorry, Daughter of Cups. The page equivalent of the Page of Cups. I am a brave feeler. Young Mother of Cups. The deep calls. Goddess Mother of Cups. I feel the beat. The greens in this deck. Anyway, the colors in general in this deck. Like I said, bold, clear colors. Not bright or garish. Grandmother of Cups. I am unconditional love. And lastly, the Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. Crack open. Two of Pentacles. I am precious. Three of Pentacles. Create support. I smile because many of these keywords, most of this deck are keywords that resonate with me. They are the meanings that I've experienced from the tarot beyond, let's say, the image of a Rider-Waite card, right? So this was very, it's very touching for me. I ground my energy into now. Four of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles. Brew in love. Six of Pentacles. It takes a village. Look at this. A bridge made of hands. Helping hands. Seven of Pentacles. Grow into it. Jessica really knows her sevens. All 4 sevens. And including the Chariot. All 5 sevens. Perfect. Discernment is listening to my soul. 8 of Pentacles. I speak from the deep seat of my soul. 9 of Pentacles. I share my medicine. 10 of Pentacles. Daughter of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles equivalent. I am big and I am small. Step into vision, Young Mother of Pentacles. That's the Knight of Pentacles. Oh my God, this card. Goddess, Mother of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles. I am the bridge. And last, Grandmother of Pentacles. My bones tell me. So, one last thing, last order of business here with this deck. As you see, it has really small, it has the smallest rounded corners. So I guess if you're someone that you find that, you have a corner rounder and you want to round it make it a little rounder, that's something you can do. That tells me it doesn't edge very well, so I'm not going to edge it. And besides, it has its own kind of thing because it's borderless, right? And the edges look nice. I like them the way they are. And I have small hands. So I have small hands, so this card is the size of my hand. I have 3x5, but it's a nice bendy card stock because these, whether it's make playing cards or game crafter. Let me do a good shuffle. Let me do a good riffle so you can hear it, like right by the microphone here. I gotta say, I really hate where cardstock is going. That's why I'm glad I'm not buying any more decks like I used to, because it's gotten ridiculous. There you go. It's gotten ridiculous. Cards. If you're someone who actually uses your cards, you want them to be thin and flexible enough to be able to shuffle. And again, an example for me of decks that are just the newest ones coming out. I'm not gonna name them because that's just I'm not here to throw shade on anybody. But when your tarot deck is this thick and you can't shuffle it, and the cardstock is so stiff, and everyone is raving over 350 GSM, 400 GSM, Keminga people, cards have to be flexible so you can shuffle them properly. If you're someone like me who likes to use their decks. If you're a collector, of course, you're looking for all the fancy cardstock and whatever. But I got to tell you, whoever's making the decision, mass market too. My friend tells me that mass market too. That the decks are this thick, they're impossible to shuffle. The cards are ridiculously thick. And it's all because, well, that's what apparently the market wants, according to the few people, I guess, who put out content and rave about whatever, right? That's like that every niche. That happens in every niche, people. Story Medicine Tarot, Animal Woman, 2nd edition. I'm not going to get the first one because the second one really, really speaks to me. The first one didn't speak to me. This one really, really does. And again, if I were to do a little recap of the energy of this deck, if you love Tarot of the Crone, if you love the Greenwood, if you love animal spirit, working with animal spirit as well, if your practice is very earth-centric, very Mother Earth, very connected to nature, shamanic, this deck will speak to you. And like I said, I live in Canada. It was a bit of an outrageous, it was outrageous after, $89.99 for the deck. Postage wasn't too bad, but then the currency exchange, it was a bit of an investment, and absolutely, in my opinion, worth it. All right, that's it for me. for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.